see. What are we? Oh, we're gonna get to her insurance stuff. Oh, I think this is where we get to the homelessness document. So, this is an article from Law and Crime. I'm just gonna read it real quick. Amber Heard's lawyers say battle between her insurers is prejudicial to her appeal of 10 million verdict for Johnny Depp. Yeah, just it's just such a mess. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know, man. Her life is really, truly a fucking mess. So not only did she lose the trial, right? Well, she owes Johnny Depp like 10 million, but afterwards, her insurance companies that covered for her verdict, or one doesn't want to cover for it, but they're like suing each other now. And Elaine's not her lawyer anymore, and there's just so much going on with her. Like, I don't know, but it's like it kind of feels like I'm watching a Lifetime movie show, but it's not. This is like fucking real life. Like, this is the real person right here. But anyways, this is the document, I think right here. It's 7 pages long. So New York Marine is, so we have two insurance companies. We have New York Marine and we have Travelers Insurance. That's what it was. So New York Marine is the one that did not want to help pay for the trial because New York Marine gave Amber Heard a lawyer to use. And they're like, no, we're not going to use this lawyer. We're going to go with Elaine Bredehoff. And so New York Marine was like, okay, fine, you know? And then so now that she lost the verdict, she's like, the New York Marine's like, well, why are we paying for this? Y'all didn't even use my fucking lawyer that I wanted you to use. So why do you expect us to pay for partial of the verdict? Like, come on. So these are the two insurance companies that were covering Amber Heard, and you know, one of them doesn't want to pay for it because Travelers Insurance, they're the ones that I think they covered it, and they're like, well, New York Marine, it's time for you to buckle up and pay for your part of the share. So that's where we're at right now. This is just a very, very basic way of describing what's going on. There's a lot more nuances, but this is more, yeah. It's a weird message. We'll just hide that. There you go. Pursuant to the court's October 21st, 2022 order on Travelers' motion to consolidate, plaintiff and counter-defendant, Travelers Commercial Insurance Company, Travelers, defendant, counterclaimant, and plaintiff, New York Marine and General Insurance Companies, New York Marine, thank God we have all these abbreviations, and defendant Amber Heard have met and conferred with regard to scheduling for this matter and by and through their undersigned counsel, and hereby submit this joint scheduling report. All right, let's see what we got here. A, Ms. Heard's position. I don't know if you guys can hear my neighbor's dog barking. The dog next door barks a fuck ton, but I don't know if you guys can hear it though. Ms. Heard respectfully submits that it is premature to enter a scheduling order for two reasons. First, there is no diversity of citizenship. Ms. Heard was not a resident of the United States when New York Marine filed its lawsuit. It is not now a resident of the United States. Therefore, this court lacks jurisdiction. Oh gosh. Because the defendant is a U.S. citizen, it has no domicile in any state. She is stateless for purposes of blah blah. Such stateless status destroys complete diversity under blah blah. Cleaned up, quoting Newman Green, blah blah. Second, this litigation should not go forward at this time. The continued prosecution of these actions is prejudicial to Ms. Heard's defense in the Depp v. Heard lawsuit, which is currently pending on appeal. Ms. Heard understands that Travelers does not oppose the request for the stay of the consolidated action, and that New York Marine does not oppose the stay as to 3 of its 4 cases of action. However, Ms. Heard understands that New York Marine opposes a stay as to its first cause of action and as to the claims at issue in the Travelers lawsuit. Therefore, as she has advised to other parties, Ms. Heard will file a motion to stay or dismiss these actions pursuant to Montrose Chemical Court v. Superior Court and its progeny. In addition, Ms. Heard intends to move for judgment on the pleadings as to each of New York Marine's causes of actions against her. New York Marine's first, second, fourth causes of action, which addresses New York Marine's duty to indemnify a judgment in the Depp lawsuit, are not ripe unless there is a final judgment in the Depp lawsuit. Given the appeal, there is no such final judgment. New York Marine's third cause of action addressing New York Marine's duty to defend Ms. Heard in the Depp lawsuit fails as a matter of law because the statute relied on California Insurance Code Section 533 does not excuse an insurer of its duty to defend. So, okay. Here I was being really naive, and I thought that she sold her Yucca Valley home because she was trying to use the money to pay back Johnny Depp. No. No. Maybe she sold that home just so she could be like, I don't have a home in the United States. I live in Spain. What are you talking about? I'm not a resident of the United States anymore. God damn. It's actually crazy because I try really hard to give the other side, her, the benefit of the doubt, even though we know what kind of horrible person she is. But I try to still give them a benefit of the doubt. And, I really thought she was just consolidating and selling shit just so she can pay for the fucking, maybe pay Johnny Depp. Or, of course, I knew she was going to do the appeal stuff, but god damn. So this is what she was really trying to do all along, I think, right? It seems like she sold her fucking home just so she could be like, hey, I live in Spain now, bitches. Y'all can come after me. Hi, Bleep. How are you doing today? Let me catch up on some messages really quick. This is some next level legal silliness right here. Everyone should just pledge money they owe and call it a day. Yep, we're just gonna pledge our bills, my credit card bills, my home bills, electricity bill. Let's just all pledge it. This is the kind of legal strategy where, even if it worked, I'd be too embarrassed to even try it. Does it even make sense to get married these days? Depending. I know some people don't want to get married because they're high income earners and they don't want to pay the tax penalty. But I mean, if you love someone, why not? She probably hired the slimiest lawyer she could find to look for a loophole. I mean, that's what lawyers do. Lawyers, they look for loopholes and stuff like that. That is their job. So, Rain says, Elon should give Amber a Tesla to sleep in so the streets stay safe and turd-free. Hi, Rick. How are you doing today? How's it going? Hello. Okay, so I don't know. So if she's claiming that she's not a resident of the United States, so do they have to propose which court would have jurisdiction? I don't understand. Where would it go from there? Okay. Did I read this one already? Hey, Ray, I did. How did I scroll all the way back up here? Sorry, the dog that's barking is throwing me off a little bit. I got a dog that's yapping next door. New York Marine's position. Personal jurisdiction over Ms. Heard. New York Marine has received no evidence establishing that Heard was not a resident of the United States at the time New York Marine filed its complaint against Heard. When did New York Marine file its complaint against Amber? Wasn't it not after the verdict, but it wasn't months after the verdict. It was a couple weeks after the verdict, was it not? Do you guys know? And then when did she sell her fucking home? Because I don't know, maybe the times are very close to each other. Let's see. Ms. Heard's request to stay this insurance litigation. New York Marine understands that Ms. Heard intends to file a motion to stay and will not oppose a stay as to the second, third, and fourth causes of action. However, New York Marine's first cause of action is ripe. I hate how they ripe. I don't know. It's such a weird word to use, but I feel when people write these legal documents, they use a lot of really interesting words. I'm I would never have used that word in a sentence, but okay. It's ripe as there is an existing judgment against Heard, and New York Marine is seeking declaratory relief as to its rights and duties regarding that judgment if the judgment is affirmed or otherwise not disturbed on appeal. Yeah, because I guess I can understand. I would say maybe wait until to see what happens on the appeal. And then once the appeal is finalized, and then, New York Marine and all these other insurance companies can figure out what they want to do. Temporary halt to scheduled depositions on September 23rd. But then again, I don't know how these insurance companies and how their policy works and all that stuff. So on September 23rd, 2022, counsel for all parties agreed to continue previously scheduled depositions provided that the depositions were moved to a certain date. Oh, to a date certain. And those depositions were set forth mid-November. Ooh, it's already mid-November. Based on the agreed availabilities of the deponents and the counsel for all parties. At no point during the rescheduling of those depositions was there any indication that jurisdictional, it's a hard word for me to pronounce, questions would be raised. Accordingly, New York Marine believes it's appropriate for the deposition scheduled in mid-November to proceed as currently scheduled. It's mid-November now. C, traveler's position. Personal jurisdiction over Ms. Heard, the issue just arose. Travelers does not have adequate information to take position. Okay. Ms. Heard's request to stay this insurance litigation. Ms. Heard asserts that she will be prejudiced prejudiced. that one's hard for me too. By this consolidated insurance litigation proceeding, while the Depp lawsuit is active. Travelers will not oppose her request for a stay on that basis. Travelers understands that New York Marine will argue that it should be able to proceed with part of its case. Oh, okay, part of its case. Travelers strongly oppose a partial stay of the insurance litigation, which allows New York Marine to move forward in part as it wishes. This would be prejudicial to travelers and Ms. Heard and be highly inefficient. It's likely will drive the parties into discovery disputes, which can be avoided by a complete stay. If the court stays the insurance litigation while the Depp lawsuit is pending, it should stay all of it. Temporary halt to scheduled depositions. Ms. Heard has asked that the parties agree to postpone 2 scheduled depositions until the court has ruled on Ms. Heard's request for a stay. Travelers has no objection to this. New York Marine, of course, objects. D. Request for postponement and agreed modified pre-trial dates. Ms. Heard requests that the court adjourn its hearing set for November 3rd, 2022, December 1st, 2022. Or another date convenient for the court. If the court determines that it's appropriate to enter a scheduled order, the parties agree to the following pre-trial timeline. Oh, God, 2023. Oh, God. Oh, court stuff takes forever. I just want things to happen now. But I know they have to do the whole discovery process and everything takes forever, all the paperwork and all that stuff. Oh, Momo is here. Hi, Momo. How are you doing today? Got any cool shoes going on right now? Anything cool? Why did Amber delete her Twitter account around the same time as bought by Elon Musk? I don't know. I heard about that. I actually didn't verify that. But I did hear about that, though. Did she really delete her Twitter account? I don't know. I wonder if her and Elon Musk even have, like, a good relationship. Or if it's, like, a different sort of relationship where one might have to feel obligated to another because one person knows a little too much about the other person. She did? Okay. Yeah, I saw it on, I don't know, somewhere. Social media somewhere. All right, so this is a proposed date. So this is, like, so far from now. I guess, you know what? Actually, time goes by so fast that July of 2023 will probably be, like, it'll be, like, tomorrow. Deadline to hold private mediation. Deadline to notify court of result of mediation and joint report regarding settlement. Post-mediation status conference. Non-expert discovery cutoff. Expert disclosure. Initial rebuttal cutoff. Expert discovery. Last day to... Guys, don't talk to the dog. Last day to file all motions, including discovery motions and pre-trial conference. I have no idea how the dog next door could be barking nonstop like that. There's nothing going on in the neighborhood. It's so quiet here. All right, and that's it. Wow. I'm looking forward to see what happens from here. Jesus. I think it's, I don't know, it's hilarious, I guess. Because, you know, sometimes when people make the video, sometimes they exaggerate a little bit. But yeah, Amber Heard. They didn't use the word homelessness, but yeah, they're definitely saying that she's not a resident of the United States when the lawsuit was filed. So that's pretty hilarious. Yep. Both sides filed the appeal. What Camille Vasquez said, that they just want to make sure that all the records are in there and that Johnny Depp's side is in there as well. So I don't know if you guys watched that one interview that Camille Vasquez did where she was asked that if Amber Heard didn't file her appeal, would Johnny have filed an appeal? And she's like, no, he would not have filed for an appeal. So the appeal was filed because Amber Heard's side filed the appeal. Okay, so this is the law and crime. This is basically what we just talked about. By the way, shout out to like Law and Crime for providing these court documents and stuff. And then to Andrea Burkhart as well. She has been providing court documents as well for like the some of the stuff. What's it called? Oh, the unsealed court documents, which I haven't had time to go through all of it yet. I definitely have to make some time for that. Okay. Let's read a little bit here. New filing on Monday. She doesn't want to move on with the case while she's appealing. Okay, that part makes sense. The lawyers, who include Kayla Robinson in Los Angeles, says Heard wasn't living in the United States. Heard's new lawyers say they may move for protective order. So did she just like completely just get like a bunch of like new lawyers? What is Mr. Rottenborn doing? What is he working on? Is he working on appeal shit too? Because I know she hired 2 other lawyers that are working for her appeal. Like, what's Rottenborn up to? I know Elaine. She gone now. Let's see. Heard's new lawyer said they may move for protective protective order to thwart deposition that New York Marine lawyers want to conduct with the lawyers who represented Heard in Depp's lawsuit and her counter lawsuit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I wonder, do they think Elaine Bretterhoff is going to be a threat? They also want a hearing scheduled for November 3rd to be rescheduled for December 1st. U.S. District U.S. District Judge George H. Wu in Los Angeles appeared to reiterate November 3rd hearing by notifying counsel they can appear for it by telephone, but a letter is scheduled to November 21st, so we'll keep an eye out for this date, after granting Heard's request for additional time to respond to complaint. Oh, yay! An ad for pads. By the way, pads in Asia are way better than pads in America. Oh my God. Anyways, New York Marine lawyers, meanwhile, were questioning whether Heard truly wasn't a United States resident when they sued her, saying they received no evidence showing so. They also don't want their scheduled deposition to be delayed, saying Heard's lawyers didn't mention the jurisdictional question they're now raising when the depositions were scheduled. Accordingly, New York Marine believes it is appropriate for the deposition scheduled in mid-November to proceed as currently scheduled. Okay, so we read that already. Lawyers for travelers don't oppose Heard's stay request, but New York Marine lawyers want to proceed with their only claims regarding the company's duty to defend Heard, saying it's fine to do so because of the existing judgment. The first lawsuit was initiated by Travelers against New York Marine, which is part of a pro-site specialty group. Both are insurers who represented Heard, and Travelers is accusing New York Marine of trying to shirk its responsibility to reimburse Travelers for half the attorney's fees, costs, and expense of defending their mutual insured in the Depp case, which left Travelers bearing an equitable portion of defense. Here's what I don't understand. So, like, New York Marine wanted Amber Heard to use one of their lawyers, right, that they chose. Why didn't they just say, okay, sure, why not? And then just have him, like, sideline, you know? Like, doesn't have to be the main lawyer, but could at least like, be a contributing lawyer, right? Like, why not just do that instead of dealing with this whole, like, insurance headache thing? Like, you want Elaine? Fine, have Elaine. But then also have the other lawyer as well, you know, just so the insurance company won't feel like they didn't really do shit. And if the judgment goes against them, they won't feel like, well, why do I have to pay for my shared responsibility? You know what? Actually, it's probably because she was on a high, you know? After 2016, things were going on the up and up and up for her. See, that's what I was saying about her before. That after 2016, she was given so many opportunities and she was in the limelight, especially as a victim of, like, you know, domestic violence and stuff like that. She was like given like shows to go on, like these talks and all that stuff, and people believed her. And then to put the fucking cherry on top, you know, not her, but Johnny Depp lost the trial in the UK. So that was probably just like, you know, like feeding to her ego even more. And so by the time that they were gonna do the trial in the US, she probably thought that she was gonna fucking win, just like how, you know, it was in the UK. Steve, how did you get down there? What the heck? Hold on a second. Let me get Steve. He just ran his ass down the stairs. In the second lawsuit, New York Marine is suing Heard, seeking a... Oh, did I skip? Oh, I did skip. Okay, so New York Marine has filed a counterclaim that argues it doesn't owe Travelers anything because the lawyer New York Marine wanted to use for the case, Cameron McAvoy, stopped representing her in 2020, wasn't involved in the trial at all. New York Marine's complaint says the lawyer retained by Heard and funded by Travelers refused to cooperate with Cameron McAvoy and deliberately obstructed and prevented Cameron McAvoy's active involvement in defense of the insured. And the second lawsuit, New York Marine is... Oh shit, fuck, I forgot to mute the music. In the second lawsuit, New York Marine is suing her, seeking a court order that's not obligated to pay for her defenses. Lawyers for Travelers called New York Marine's allegation provocative and his theory aggressive when asking Wu to consolidate the cases, warning that the legal issues in both cases will in fact be fact intensive, and ProSite has scheduled the court to try it twice. All right. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on this. What's the date that we're keeping an eye on? November 21st, right? That's the date that they push it to. Yeah. Rescheduled to November 21st. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's a couple days before Thanksgiving. And all right, remind me, November 21st.